2020 wasn't the year that we asked for, but did you kick its ass or did it kick yours? Welcome to this episode of the Limitation Is A Mirage podcast. This is the last episode of the year, and usually what I do when I get to the end of the year is I look back over my year, what I've done, what I should have done, what I thought I was going to do, what I was going to achieve, and reevaluate and just see what I'm going to do with the next year. So first of all, this year's been fucking mental, so everyone's probably quite happy that it's nearly over. But don't just assume that next year's going to magically be better because it's not 2020 anymore. 2020 was shit, but for me, when I look back, I made a lot of programs. I put on a lot more weight. I did a lot of things that I wanted to do. I just didn't. There's a lot of things I didn't get to do as well, like gigs and stuff that were cancelled and work with clients that was cancelled and that sort of stuff. But it made me really appreciate what I had and what I was doing with my life and what I could do with my life, and sort of sit down and take stock of what I want to achieve next year. I'm pretty sure if this year didn't go the way it went, then my goals wouldn't have changed that much. But now that I'm seeing, because everything's been closed down, I haven't been traveling around, I haven't been going places, I'm starting to see the things that really mean something to me, the things that I see myself doing forever, and things that I don't want to be doing anymore. So that's what I did this year. I cut out all the things that weren't for me, that I just didn't enjoy doing. I created new programs and new ways of working with my clients to facilitate being online. For 98% of it was online, even with gyms closing. So I had people working on becoming physically stronger as well as mentally. And a lot of that was involved in the gym, and then obviously the gym's all closed, so that couldn't happen anymore. So I was able to reevaluate, and it got me to a point where I realized how, I know I say this a lot, I've been doing this for about 20 years, but I really understand a lot about the things that I'm doing, that I was able to make so many shifts and changes throughout the year whenever it was so uncertain what was going to happen next. It never really threw me, and I never really got caught off guard because I knew there was nothing I could do about it. Whatever the government decides, whatever this pandemic throws at us, there's nothing really I can do, only how I react and how I deal with it, and then what I do with my clients to help them to move forward and progress anyway. So that's what I would advise you to do as well, is to look back at the things that you stressed about, because obviously there's going to be a lot of it because of, again, the way the year was. Look at the things you stressed about and then question yourself, why did you stress about that? Whenever you lost the job. So losing your job is a terrible thing. But if you were in a position where you were losing a job and you were going to get another job that was going to be much better, then that's not a terrible thing to lose the job. Same as relationships. A relationship breaking up, but you knowing that you're going into a better situation, whether it's on your own or with somebody else, then it takes away from that problem, the relationship breaking or losing the job. So it's really how you look at the problem, how you look at the situation that you're in, that will determine what you do moving forward. So I know there's a lot of people that would have lost jobs and they feel like there's nothing good coming out of that. They had nothing set up, they had no plans or prospects or anything to go forward from losing that job, especially when it was so unexpected. But you get a lot of free time where you can upskill, where you can develop yourself so that your CV can fill out a bit more. You can volunteer, you can do loads of things that will make you feel useful and make you feel like you're using your time, rather than just sitting around watching Netflix and just lazing about. So look at the things that happened this year. Look at the decisions that you made this year, and look at the things that you didn't decide about. So if you had inaction this year, and then find out what happened anyway. So I always believe that inaction is worse than failure, because at least if you fail, you can learn from that. Whereas with inaction, nothing happens. You don't learn, you don't grow. You don't move, you don't go anywhere. So look back, think about all the things that happened this year. I normally just jot it all down, and I look into it as much as I can. I question myself as if I was talking to an 8-year-old. I asked them, well, why did you do that? And how did it feel when you did that? And what would you like to do differently the next time? And how would you have liked that situation to play out? Where would you see yourself? If you had done it differently, where would you see yourself now compared to where you are? And that gives you a good idea of where you want to go next year, who you want to be next year, and what you want to do. And that's pretty much what I'm always about. I'm always about growing, learning, and improving, and doing whatever you can to get to that point. So for me this year was pretty good. Like I got rid of a lot of things that I got rid of things that I knew were holding me back, that just I was in the habit of doing. But I also got rid of things that I didn't even know were a hindrance, and cutting out people and clients and things that were just not helping me move towards where I see myself going. Changing my programs, changing, just coming up with the ideas, sitting and researching and studying more about everything that I like and am involved in, and really just connecting with people, like with social media, with the podcast, with everything, just connecting with more people that are on the same wavelength as me and want to improve and grow as well. So that's been really good for me. I'm still getting out. I still get out in nature. I go for walks. I didn't get to the gym that much this year, really, whenever you think about how much I did the year before. But I still feel stronger. I have had a bit of an injury throughout the year. My chest flared up a wee bit, but aside from that, I felt pretty healthy, pretty good. My eating's been been mostly the way I wanted to go as well. So I guess my point is that nobody was expecting this year to be the way it is. But again, you can still improve your life. You can still grow. You can still be the person that you want to be. You just have to make a lot of changes and be consistent with things that I was talking about this actually earlier today. I have routines that no matter what else happens in my life, those routines will not be affected. I might have to get up earlier, or I might have to go to bed earlier and do my morning and nighttime routine earlier or later, whichever way it works out. But if I lose a client, if I had to get a job, if I was traveling, those things would never be really put out of sync. They'll just be moved slightly. I can do them anywhere. It doesn't matter where I am. And that is what keeps me on point. It keeps me focused and keeps me driven towards where I'm going. So no matter what happens externally, if I fall out with someone, if I have the worst day ever, it still ends and starts exactly the same way. So it doesn't really affect my mood for too long, because twice in a day I'm going to do something for up to an hour that's going to make me center myself. It's going to make me put me back on track. So try to set some goals for yourself this year, or some routines or habits that are beneficial for you, positive for you, that won't be affected by any external things, that you can do them lying in bed, like doing 3 breaths at night, doing 5 breaths at night, waking up in the morning and doing a few deep breaths, a few bits of stretching, no matter what time you get up. So set yourself up with winning routines that don't be affected by anything else. So that would be the main thing I took away from this whole year, was that I had already done that, thankfully. And that's why I'm able to stay positive and stay on track and stay focused on where I want to go. So that's why I'm saying it now. I think it's a really good idea for you to do as well. Aside from that, I just hope you have a great rest of year. It's 2 days left. Whatever it is that you want to do next year, then just start now. Don't wait for 2 days and do it. Start now, planning and setting yourself up to succeed. And then just go out and get whatever you want. So I do believe, I say it all the time, that I name my book Limitation is a Mirage. But I believe you can be and do whatever you want in life. You just have to work at it. And you just have to work consistently. So thanks again. I really appreciate all the likes, the shares, the comments, all the feedback I've got all year. I'm really thankful for it. I'm thankful for everyone that tunes in, everyone that shares it, everything that happens. Otherwise, I just wouldn't do it. So once again, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Have an amazing day, whatever you get up to, and I will speak to you again soon.